This is almost a two-parter because it has to do with King of the Ring. And the first part is about who we see, who is going to win at this point, what has been reported, who's going to win this thing.
Yeah, so that's a longer story. I mean,
the second part is the longer story. This main one though is just who's winning, because the other one is very interesting to me about who was originally going to win and why they are not going to win.
Yeah. So okay. So the plans at the moment for this. I mean, this is a big pay-per-view, as I just said. It's going to be in the cinemas over here. It looks more like Mania than Mania did on paper. Because you didn't have Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania this year. So the plans at the moment are to have all of the champions retaining, and for Finn Balor, to win the King of the Ring right now. So while it seems like a huge pay-per-view, everything is going to remain as is. So Roman Reigns is going to face Big E at the Survivor Series, as they'll be the champions coming out and facing the Survivor Series, which is not going to be changing its format. They're still going to be going with that stale old Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown. At the moment, also Usos versus RK Bro, and most likely Damian Priest versus Nakamura. However, at some point, Sheamus is penciled in to win the IC title. And as soon as WWE want to crack on with pushing Rick Boogs, who's the priority in the Nakamura situation, in the Nakamura pairing, they will give the belt to Sheamus, and maybe Boogs will go and try and get it off Sheamus, or Boogs is going to feud Nakamura. I'm not too sure, but Boogs is seen as a really big star. Nakamura is seen as a washed, a star who they've used up their ideas with. He's washed. They're not going to do anything else with him. So looking at this King of the Ring tournament, so we spoke about how everything's looking like it's going to remain the same at Crown Jewel,
which is pretty much you're watching the pageantry of an event, because every one of those matches seems very obvious. Like I don't think there's I wonder if this person's going to win. I thought they're all pretty obvious wins, because I would assume they were all keeping their belts and stuff. So
did you see Ross release the betting odds like they haven't been out for like 2 weeks?
Yeah. I was more upset because betonline.ag or whatever had it, where that's one of my spots that I gamble, and I'm like, I never see wrestling on there. I'd be betting on it.
His website's a joke. So Xavier Woods was supposed to win the King of the Ring. A part of bringing it back was actually a pitch from Woods and the things he wanted to do as the king. So, when he was king, we see this documentary on WWE Network at the moment. And I tweeted earlier, how can WWE tell you that Randy Savage banged Stephanie McMahon without telling you that Randy Savage banged Stephanie McMahon? Watch this documentary. Randy Macho King Savage, the number 9 greatest king of all time. Number 9.
How many have there? Well, I guess there's been a lot of King of the Rings, which are nonsense, though.
I would say no more than 20, though. But yeah, I mean, he got ahead of Harley Race, Wade Barrett, and Baron Corbin by 1 place. But he was behind Sheamus, Edge, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Yeah. It was. I'm telling you, like, there's some issue there, and
for the actual gimmick of king, because if you go just overall, Brock Lesnar's a monster, all that kind of stuff, sure. But as a king, Brock Lesnar never was running around being King Brock Lesnar. So as king,
these documentaries are so confusing. They don't know what they want to be. They had Austin at number 2 because he obviously became the biggest star, but he never gave a shit about the King of the Ring.
No.
Triple H was number 4. He bashed his King of the Ring up, and number 1 was Booker, because of the way he played King.
I was going to say, I bet you Booker's number 1. And you know what? I'm not too upset by it. If this is the problem, which are they going by? Are they going by the person who played King and had a character? Then the whole thing has to be changed. Or is it just star power of what they did after they became a king, like they shot to the moon? Then Austin's number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's... The top, for me, like the top 5 should have been Booker T. I agree, actually.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Randy Macho King Savage, number 2. You think of him immediately as the king.
I think of Harley immediately because he was the one that I knew of when it was like him and Haku and Duggan were the first ones I ever saw.
I actually got them all in, except Duggan. So I got Owen number 3 because he was the King of Hearts, put in his name, everything. I put 4, I put Harley, and 5 Haku. Like these were the kings, like the kings of wrestling. I mean,
that was their gimmick. That was all they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, like decide what you want to be and go with it. But yeah, so here's the interesting part of this story.
Well, first of all, do you know what Woods wanted to do with this gimmick? Okay.
No, I don't know. That's obviously like under wraps. But I mean, it was impressive enough for them to say, all right, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do the King of the Ring. Obviously, also they needed stuff coming out of the pandemic and trying to get live crowds in. And, you know, we've seen they've not maintained a rating. They've not maintained a crowd. This has gone backwards very quickly. I think much quicker than they anticipated. So they have called, the WWE have called on Woods, which is surprising because if this is a guy who pushed for the tournament to come back and you did it off the back of his pitches, to call on him as the winner is very surprising. It's happened off the back of a leaked document which lists wrestling's top 10 earners from Twitch. Now, Woods' his reputation in the WWE is that he could turn to chicken salad in terms of social media interaction. He was viewed as some sort of social media guru. In his defense, Up, Down, Down is a YouTube channel. But obviously, this is a document that made its way through to WWE, and they were surprised by the list. As a result of the list, they have subsequently upped their interest in Zelina, who was just dead weight, and even Paige, who, as a result, a conversation has happened where the WWE are looking to see if they can get Paige cleared. And these are the numbers that turn their heads. Adam Cole received $318,000 from the payments on Twitch. Colt Cabana, 32 grand. Evil Uno, 35 grand. Impact Wrestling as a whole, 69 grand. Paige, $478,000.
Because you've seen what she wears on that. You think they're looking at a video game?
This doesn't even include tips, I don't think.
You say tips, right?
Yeah. This time she's the one that's Woods.
Twice.
Right. Woods came in at 25 grand on this list, and Selena Vega $341,748.
Do you think McMahon knows the difference between Twitch and YouTube? I don't think he did. He don't know what the hell Twitch is. And the fact that they go, oh, he's not the most popular on Twitch, let's not let him be King of the Ring. It's the stupidest thing ever that they would even.
No, I don't think it is, because if his pitches are to do with, I'm gonna wear the crown here, I'm gonna wear the crown here, I'm gonna push it on my YouTube, I'm gonna push it on my Twitch, I'm gonna
I got your promotion then, yeah.
I'm gonna do all of these, these interactive things. I imagine Woods is an outside of the box thinker, and with this King of the Ring, we would have seen some different stuff. We may still see it, because as I always say, Liv Morgan didn't win the Money in the Bank because Instagram worked out that she was going to win the Money in the Bank. Like she pulled a massive number in a poll, and the next thing you know, Nikki Ash is winning it. So you never know what's going to end up happening. But at the moment, I think the plan is for Balor to win it. And I think if Woods was winning it, I think this bracket would be set up differently, because we know Sammy isn't going into the isn't going into Saudi.
However, when he went up there and put that cape on his head with the crown, I was pissing myself. That was fantastic. I said he could have fun with this whole thing, but like we all know, he's not going to Saudi.
No, but do you think that Woods is going to have any? Are you feeling that Woods is going to be something you want to see? Because I think the New Day bores me to death.
All I can imagine Woods doing, which is probably not fair to him, and I should give benefit of the doubt, is I see him emulating Booker. I see him doing the same exact thing, because we've seen him do like that royalty voice on different programs where, he's regal and stuff like that. So that's what I imagine him, people carrying his cape behind him and just being, Like, pretty much
I
the
think-
same as Booker.
I think he would do some where he dresses up like every King of the Ring. Like he comes down as Bret Hart, and he comes down.
That's
as,
pretty good.
No, that's awful. That's a
No,
terrible,
but that's for he always has different. But that's that's a good thing that you're saying, because I could see that 100% that would happen.
Right.
And they wear the different outfits now as is. You wouldn't get a kick out of him in a full Bret Hart outfit coming to the ring. You wouldn't pop for that. I would get off my seat right off the bat. I would like, oh, that's great. Because we said when Punk wore Macho Man trunks, we all
but that's CM Punk. Look at the level. Look at the level. Maybe Woods dressing up as Razor Ramon is like a burger being covered in peppercorn sauce. It's not
You're out of your mind.
Not steak. It's not steak.
You didn't like that? I thought that was slick when he came out there dressed like Razor Ramon. I was like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, when it comes to Woods, the only thing I would get up for is his release.
Or other movies that he makes.
Yeah, that's the best thing he's ever done.
You said he thinks outside the box. I saw him thinking inside the box.